What if I told you that the crushing weight you feel on your chest, that cold grip of anxiety tightening your stomach every time you think about your student loans, credit cards, or mortgage, isn't actually a financial problem? What if the system has lied to you about the nature of money itself? You have been conditioned to believe that the solution is external, that you need to work harder, hustle more, and grind until you break. But the root cause is entirely internal. That heaviness isn't just stress. It is a signal that you are disconnected from your true power. And what if I revealed to you that the red numbers on your bank app, the collection letters, the relentless robocalls, are not your hard reality, but merely a shadow? They are ghosts of a past vibration. We live in a culture that worships the material, telling you that these numbers define your worth and your future. But in the philosophy of Neville Goddard, these facts are fluid. They are not the wall. They are the projection on the wall, and you have the power to change the film in the projector. This shadow is projected by a specific state of consciousness that you have unknowingly accepted as true. You have agreed to a contract with limitation. The moment you identify as a debtor or someone who is struggling, you solidify that reality. It hardens into fact. But understand this: the debt does not exist independently of you. It is sustained only by your continued awareness of it. Most of humanity lives hypnotized by these shadows, believing they must fight in the physical world, the world of Caesar, to settle what they owe. This is the trap of the rat race. You are taught to trade time for money, to struggle, to sacrifice your freedom, just to get back to zero. But you cannot solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it. Fighting the debt on the physical plane only exhausts you. But you who are here at feeling is the secret. You are ready for the deeper truth. You are ready to unplug from that narrative. You are not here to learn how to budget better or how to work a second job. You are here to learn how to hack the reality system itself. You are ready to reclaim your divine authority. The truth is radical. Debt is not paid off through more struggle and harder labor. It is canceled by a deliberate act of imagination. This is the secret that the wealthy and the spiritually awakened have always known. The physical money follows the imaginal act, not the other way around. To clear the ledger, you must first clear the consciousness of the debt. I deeply understand this agitation you feel. Debt is one of the most powerful forms of scarcity hypnosis designed to keep you small. It is a psychological prison. It keeps you in survival mode, preventing you from ever looking up and realizing that you hold the key to the cell in your own pocket. Think about your routine. You wake up in the morning, and before your feet even hit the floor, your first thought is, I have to. I have to make that payment. I have to go to that job I hate. I have to survive. You are starting your day in a deficit, energetically bowing down to the idol of debt. And then you fall asleep at night, and your last conscious thought is, I don't have enough. You replay the worries, the calculations, the fears. You drift into the subconscious, the very workshop of creation, carrying blueprints of poverty and restriction. You are literally programming your next day to be a struggle. This constant sensation of lack, this inner dialogue of fear, acts as a dark prayer. It is a command you are issuing to the universe. And the universe, in its infinite impartiality, says yes. It continues to grant your request. You are vibrating at the frequency of I owe, and the world has no choice but to reflect that back to you in the form of more bills and fewer opportunities. You pray for lack, and lack is given to you, multiplied. You might have tried standing in front of the mirror, affirming, "I am wealthy, I am abundant," but your voice shakes. You don't believe it. You have tried to visualize stacks of cash or a zero balance, but your heart is heavy with desperation. Why does this fail? It fails because you are trying to lie to yourself instead of transforming yourself. You are trying to fight the shadow on the wall with a stick instead of simply turning on the light. Neville Goddard, the great mystic and teacher of the law, handed us the key to our own divinity, a key that unlocks the door to total financial independence. He taught that human imagination is not a passive faculty. It isn't just daydreaming or escaping reality while you sit in a cubicle. No, imagination is the only true creative reality. It is God in action. It is the operating system of the universe, and this system runs on one specific fuel: feeling. Feeling is the secret, he wrote. Your battle with debt and limitation is not won on the battlefield of spreadsheets, bank negotiations, or working overtime. It is won in the silent sanctuary of your mind. If you are trying to fix your finances purely through logic and labor, you are playing the game on hard mode. You are fighting the effects. To change the game, you must go to the cause. You must shift the internal atmosphere before the external weather can change. The secret to paying off debts is not, and listen closely, finding the money. Finding the money is the result, not the method. The secret is to assume, in this precise instant, the feeling of relief, of gratitude, of lightness that you would feel if every single debt were already paid. You must capture the emotional signature of freedom before the physical evidence appears. This is the reverse of how the world teaches you to live, but it is the only way to break the cycle. This is the point where your logical mind will rebel. It will scream, "But how can I feel free when the facts tell me I am trapped? How can I feel wealthy when the rent is due?" This is the voice of the old system. Neville would answer, "The facts are only the shadows of your previous beliefs. The 3D world is just a feedback loop. If you wait for the facts to change before you change your feeling, you will wait forever. You are waiting for the mirror to smile first." You are not an effect. You are the cause. To change the effect, the debt, the struggle, you must radically alter your self-concept. You must stop identifying with the man or woman who is in debt and start embodying the man or woman who is free. This isn't about ignoring bills. It's about shifting who is looking at them. You must move from the state of a victim of the economy to the state of the creator of your economy. This is not a game of pretend. It is an act of conscious creation. It is the only true alchemy, transmuting the consciousness of lack, lead, into the consciousness of freedom, gold. When you change your inner state, the outer world is compelled to reshape itself to match that new state. The world has no volition of its own. It is a slave to your assumptions. If you assume freedom, the world must rearrange itself to prove you right. Your task, therefore, is not to run frantically seeking external solutions or loans. Your task is to withdraw. You must mentally unplug from the sensory world that screams scarcity and enter your inner temple. You must shut the door on the five senses. In that silence, you are no longer a struggling employee or a debtor. You are pure potential. This is where you do the work that actually matters. There, in the silence, you must construct a scene. A short, vivid scene that implies with absolute certainty that your debts no longer exist. Do not construct a scene of how they were paid. The how is not your business. The how belongs to the infinite wisdom of the universe. Your job is the end. You must go straight to the finish line. Construct a scene that celebrates your liberation, a scene that could only happen after the struggle is over. Imagine you are sitting at your desk. You see a pile of those bills that usually cause you panic. But look closer. There is something different. On every single one of them, stamped in bold, red ink, is the word paid. Feel the texture of the paper under your fingers. See the vivid color of that ink. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders. It is not a hope, it is a done deal. You are looking at history, not a threat. Or, imagine opening your banking app on your phone. Usually, you brace yourself for the negative balance, for the red numbers that scream failure. But in this scene, the balance is positive. It is flourishing. It is serene. You see a number that makes you feel safe. You feel a wave of relief so deep it almost takes your breath away. Your shoulders drop, the knot in your stomach dissolves. You are not looking at a miracle. You are looking at your new normal. You must feel this as a present fact. Or, perhaps even more powerful, imagine a conversation. You are talking to a close friend or your partner. You hear your own voice, calm and steady, saying, "It is done. I am completely free. Every single cent has been paid off." Hear their enthusiastic response. "That is amazing. How do you feel?" And you answer, "I feel light. I feel born again." You are not asking for help. You are sharing news. The vibration of that voice must be real to you. It must carry the tones of reality. You must capture that feeling of rebirth. That emotion is the alchemical agent. That is the seed that, once planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind, cannot help but germinate in your three-dimensional reality. It does not matter which scene you choose, as long as it implies the fulfillment of your desire. The scene is just the vehicle. The feeling is the destination. Once you touch that state, you have impregnated the universe. The creation is finished. You just wait for the birth. Neville often shared stories of people who applied this principle with divine persistence. He spoke of a woman who desperately wanted to travel to Barbados but had not a penny to her name. She did not focus on the empty pockets or the lack of tickets. She focused entirely on the feeling of already being in Barbados. She ignored the physical evidence of her current location and lived in the Caribbean in her mind. She refused to take no for an answer from her circumstances. Every night, in her city apartment, she fell asleep imagining the sand under her feet and the sound of the ocean. She smelled the salt water. She didn't just think of Barbados. She slept as if she were there. She engaged all her spiritual senses. She viewed the world from that location. If she was in Barbados, she couldn't be in the city. She successfully tricked her subconscious into believing she had already made the journey. She slept in the assumption of her wish fulfilled. Within a short time, the unpredictable happened. A bridge of incidents unfolded naturally. A brother she hadn't heard from in years wrote to her, enclosing a check as a gift and an invitation to join him in Barbados. She didn't have to manipulate anyone. She didn't have to struggle. She simply maintained faith in her imaginal act. She moved her consciousness, and her physical world was forced to follow. The how was orchestrated by a higher intelligence. Your lack of money to pay a debt is identical to her lack of money for a ticket. The solution is the same. Stop staring at the obstacle and go to the end. The principle is universal. It doesn't care if you want a vacation or financial freedom. It only asks for the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If you can feel the relief of the debt being gone, the means to pay it will appear. It might be a check, a promotion, or an unexpected opportunity. That is not your concern. Consider the story of Richard. Richard was an entrepreneur suffocated by a commercial loan that threatened to destroy everything he had built. The anxiety was his constant companion. His accountants looked at the spreadsheets and told him it was over. The math didn't work. His senses showed him only evidence of failure and bankruptcy. But then he encountered the teachings of Neville. He realized he had been worshiping the wrong God, the God of statistics and economic forecasts. He decided to change his loyalty. He decided to be faithful only to his imagination, the true cause of his life. Every night before sleep, he entered that drowsy state Neville called sa-tess, state akin to sleep. Richard did not imagine checks arriving in the mail. That implies lack. Instead, he imagined something simpler, yet infinitely more powerful. He constructed a scene that implied the success of his business was a stable, long-established fact, moving his mind forward in time. He imagined he was in his office, 1 year in the future. He was looking out the window, not with anxiety, but with a deep, serene satisfaction. In his hand, he felt the weight of a plaque, a business growth award. He felt the cold metal, saw his name engraved on it, and felt pride for the success that was now past. He wasn't hoping for survival. He was remembering a victory. He collapsed time, bringing the future into the present moment. Richard practiced this scene for 3 weeks, every single night, without exception. He practiced it not as a chore to be endured, but as a sanctuary to be enjoyed. It was his Sabbath, his place of mental rest. During the day, when the facts threatened to overwhelm him, when the phone rang with demands for payment, he closed his eyes for a split second. He returned to that window, to that trophy, to that specific feeling of satisfaction. He didn't fight the negative thoughts. He simply withdrew his attention from them. He treated them as ghosts, shadows of a dead past projected by his old self. Then, the bridge of incidents appeared. A client he thought was lost forever contacted him out of the blue. They had an urgent, massive project, bigger than anything Richard had ever handled. The payment terms were unusually favorable, with a substantial advance sufficient to cover the pressing debts and provide operating room. Within 6 months, his business wasn't just saved, it was thriving. And a year later, Richard stood in his office holding that exact award. He had imagined the end, and the universe rearranged reality to fit the mold. This story isn't magic. It is divine mechanics. Your imagination, your I am, is the only cause. The physical world, including your bank account, is just the effect. We are hypnotized to pray to the effect. We beg the bank account to change. But the world is just a mirror, magnificent, loyal, and ruthless. It reflects exactly what you are in your consciousness. Trying to change the debt without changing your consciousness is like trying to change your reflection by smashing the mirror. It is futile and exhausting. Debt is just an indicator telling you, look, you are believing in lack. You are identifying with scarcity. It is an invitation to use your divine authority. When Neville spoke of I am, he wasn't talking about the ego. He meant the creative power of God within you. Whatever you attach to I am becomes your reality. If you say, I am broke, you sign a divine decree. But the moment you dare to declare, I am free, I am solvent, and feel it, the universe must move. It cannot deny your creation any more than a mirror can refuse to reflect your face. You must understand the difference between thinking of your desire and thinking from it. Thinking of financial freedom affirms that you don't have it. You are here and the money is there. Thinking from the desire means mentally occupying the state. It means being the person who has already paid everything. How does that feel? It feels secure. It feels generous. Your job is to cultivate these feelings now. This impresses the subconscious, which accepts the feeling as fact and objectifies it in your world. Consider Anna, a single mother trapped in a vortex of small debts that kept her awake at night. She stopped running in the shadow world and built a scene. Every night, she imagined talking to her sister on the phone, saying with a sigh of pure joy, I did it. I just checked. It's all paid. We are free. She repeated this until it felt solid. She slept in that relief. She practiced a mental diet, refusing to feed on thoughts of lack. She starved the old state of consciousness and fed the new one. After a month of faithful practice, her company announced a restructuring, usually a sign of danger. But Anna held to her feeling. She was called in and offered a new full-time position created specifically for her, with nearly double the salary. It wasn't a lottery win. It was a logical, natural bridge of incidents. Within 3 months, she made that exact phone call to her sister. The debt was not a solid thing. It was a state of consciousness. Once she moved, the debt had to vanish. If this truth resonates with you, if you feel a shiver of recognition, it is your inner divinity waking up. It is your I am remembering its nature. I ask you to make a symbolic gesture, not for me, but for yourself. Press the like button on this video as a deliberate act, an amen to this revelation. It is your way of telling the universe, yes, I accept this power. I accept my freedom. Do not be passive. Claim your territory in the world of consciousness right now. Now, seal this new awareness. Go to the comments section and write this phrase not as words, but as a divine decree. Write, I am the cause of my reality. Write it and feel it. You are stepping out of the victim role and taking your place as the creator looking into the mirror. Whenever you see that comment, it will remind you of the day you stopped fighting shadows and started commanding the light. You are the alchemist. Your imagination is the furnace, and your feeling is the fire. From this night on, do not sleep in the state of the debtor. Sleep in the state of the sovereign. You are God in form, playing the game of limitation, and now choosing the game of mastery. Live in the feeling of freedom. Breathe it. Sleep in it. Walk the world not as one who hopes to be free, but as one who knows they are. The debt was just the shadow that forced you to find the light. Now you have found it. Use it. Claim your kingdom. You are free.